watching Seattle Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. I am your fearless leader, Tyler Schultz, here with you. Thanks for joining us. Coming up on today's show, Matt Hasselbeck, the former Seahawks quarterback turned TV commentator. He shared some thoughts on Jalen Milroe and gave some perspective about what we can potentially anticipate from him in 2025 and what he does to change Seattle's offense. We'll tell you everything you need to know coming up in just a bit. Before we do, folks, we continue our like battle for the month of June here on Seahawks Today between us and the 49ers report. Chase Sr. and company, they don't think that we can hang with them in this like battle, and I want to do everything I can to prove Chase Sr. wrong. You can see we're just a little bit behind, but not too far behind, with just a few more days to go. Do your part, smash that like button, and we'll get started with this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. Matt Hasselbeck. I've always been a big fan of Matt, dating back to his days here in Seattle. I thought he got screwed by ESPN when they laid him off a couple of years ago, but nonetheless, he's one of the smartest minds out there in football, and he knows a thing or two what he's talking about. He did an interview within the last couple of days with the folks at Seattle Sports Radio and talked about Jalen Milroe and what he expects from the rookie quarterback and how exactly he'll be used. And he brought a pretty unique perspective on it that might surprise some people, some nuanced thoughts of sorts on the plan for him going forward in 2025. And let's start with this. One of the things Hasselbeck talked about was Milroe finding his spots. And when you think about that, okay, what does that exactly mean? For me, that's, okay, where can we put him in the right places to succeed? How can we get the most out of him and put him at a level that makes the most sense? And Hasselbeck said the following to Seattle Sports. I definitely can respect how hard the learning curve is to go from college to the NFL. But I would also be naive to think that they couldn't be creative enough to find a way to use him in spots. I think about it this way. The world is Jalen Milroe's oyster. And the same can be said for Klint Kubiak and Mike McDonald when it comes to this offense, of the possibilities that are out there for Jalen Milroe here. It is going to take time. I don't think anybody is going to kid themselves and think that Jalen Milroe is the QB1 day one for Seattle. In fact, you go back to his days at Alabama, and, he sat on the bench initially there. He was not a starter as a true freshman. And when he was handed the keys, he struggled enough to get benched, and eventually he did come back and help lead the Crimson Tide to the college football playoff. So if he wasn't ready back then to start immediately, I don't see why there's this expectation from some people that think he's going to be the next Russell Wilson and beat out Sam Darnold for the starting job. That's just not what this is set up to be. That doesn't mean that he can't be used and that they don't have something in mind. It's just like a painting, a blank canvas here of, all right, we can do this. We have these things in mind. Let's make it happen and see how all this works. And I do think that there are some very crucial things that he can play a role in, and we'll hear more from Matt Hasselbeck explaining what those are potentially. Let's start with this. Our pinned comment today. Keep it real with me, 12s. Do you believe in Jalen Milroe? Type B for believe, D for don't. Weigh in the comments section. Let us know what you think, if you're all in on Milroe or not. Folks, want to make sure you're subscribed to Seattle Seahawks Today as we bring you the latest happenings of your favorite team, from our news and rumors to our live shows 3 days a week. We have videos sometimes 2 and 3 times a day on the channel, and much, much more, my friends. The best part about it, it's 100% free. Doesn't cost you a thing to subscribe. We're closing in on 68,000 subscribers, a little less than 70 away from reaching that next milestone. If you love the Hawks, this is the channel for you, the most interactive Seahawks channel on YouTube. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/SeahawksTV. So we go from finding his spots to where he could exactly fit in. And Matt, he's got some ideas of what exactly that could be, and I think he's got some pretty good ideas in mind. Here's more from Hasselbeck. Like as you're winning games, as Sam Darnold is your starting quarterback, find ways to take Jalen's skill set and make sure you have to worry about it in short yardage and goal line in the red zone, the low red zone. I think that's exciting. Now, to what Hasselbeck is talking about here, this is not something that is going to hurt Sam Darnold by any stretch of the imagination. It should only enhance this offense of the abilities that they can use Jalen Milroe to, and you could potentially have some packages where they're on the field together. We've already been told that Sam Darnold is still expected to be on the field for at least 90% of the snaps. But you think about it, with Milroe's running ability that he brings to the table, I mean, the guy's built like a truck, and he's got speed, he's super athletic, he's super muscular. I mean, he's a ladies' man, right? When you talk about the potential scenarios here, like that was laid out by Hasselbeck, whether it's wildcat packages, coming in short yardage situations, the truth of the matter, to keep it simple, folks, Jalen Milroe is a hell of a lot better than Sam Darnold is. And that's not a knock on Sam Darnold at all. It's just the truth of the matter, right? And so if you can put Milroe in those positions, similar to what we saw in San Francisco a couple years ago where Trey Lance did that for Jimmy Garoppolo, it should make each other better, not to mention that Sam is less likely to get hurt. And so you can maximize on both of them and get the most for this offense. Speaking of, Matt, what's your favorite memory of Matt Hasselbeck? For me personally, I know the outcome didn't turn out so great, but I always love his infamous quote, "We want the ball and we're going to score." Didn't quite work out as he threw an interception a couple plays later. But, hey, I loved the passion and intensity from Matt in that moment. What's your favorite memory from Matt Hasselbeck? Tell me in the comment section what that is. The 4th of July is almost here, my friends. Our chance to celebrate the greatest country on earth, the United States of America. And I can't think of a better way to be celebrating our great country and also by representing your favorite team at the same time than getting one of these fantastic Seahawks 4th of July shirts that are on sale now at chatsports.com/SeahawksUSA. We have all sorts of different shapes and sizes available for you. And I know that this is a 4th of July shirt, but this would be a shirt that you'll want to wear all year long, my friends. No bad time to wear this T-shirt. We also have other Seahawks merchandise available at that same link. Go see for yourself now. Chatsports.com/SeahawksUSA to get yours today. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Go to chatsports.com/SeahawksUSA to get yours now. So another thing, and this is where I found the most interest, the most fascinating commentary from Matt Hasselbeck when it came to Jalen Milroe, was talking about the preparation factor in that with having the element that Milroe can bring to this offense, now all of a sudden you're keeping opposing offenses on their toes, that they have more work to do in trying to game plan for this Seahawks offense of facing both Sam Darnold and Jalen Milroe. And one of the things that Hasselbeck talked about was some of the conversations that he's had with Rex Ryan over the years as they worked together at ESPN. Rex Ryan, of course, the former New York Jets and Buffalo Bills head coach. And this is what he had to say about that. Rex would talk about how just taking time away from my preparation for the real Kyle Shanahan offense. I'm spending hours on all the different things that I've got to prepare for now, and it's just taking time away. And I think that's an example of how the Seahawks could approach this. You're developing your young quarterback, you're breaking the ice, and you're making your offense way tougher to defend. It keeps the defenses honest of, all right, what are we going to see? What's going to be on the football field here? How are we going to approach this and take more time away? And that, in theory, if they're spending so much of their attention on Milroe now, then that should open up things to exploit with these other players that you have a chance to use, whether it's in the run game or whether it's with your receivers and such. I mean, that's just a lot more homework that these teams have to potentially work for. And I think it's brilliant on the part of Matt to bring that up, just with having that possibility out there of, all right, what are we going to see? I mean, it could be, I'll put it this way, folks. You could have a game where you barely even use Jalen Milroe because the offense is doing so well, but the defense still has to keep that in the back of their mind of, all right, what happens if they do bring in Jalen Milroe here, and trying to stay prepared for that. To me, I think that's a brilliant point on his part that should only help out the Seahawks offense, and I think that Klint Kubiak and Mike McDonald are going to have a good game plan in mind as far as that goes. So that's all that Matt Hasselbeck had to say. Do you agree with his take, with what he had to say when it comes to Jalen Milroe here? You got two options here. Type Y for yes, in for no. I agree full-heartedly. I think he's spot on with his analysis here. Way in the comment section, tell me what you think. If you enjoyed today's show, you already know what to do. Hit that like button. We certainly would appreciate it. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for stopping by, and we shall see you next time right here on Seattle Seahawks Today. Thanks for joining us.